All right, we are back. Dynasty Trades in 5. I'm Clay.
I'm Bateman.
I'm Batman with an E.
All right, so tonight we're doing Rashod Bateman. It was a request from our subscribers, so we're coming through. We're men of the people. Scott, you're first. What do you think about Bateman?
He actually started off really well and then really kind of tailed off at the end of the year. Now, to be fair, a lot of those games were without Lamar Jackson at the end of the year. So is that good? Was that bad? Who knows? But then we're entering a class now where, he's basically going to get lined up with all these receivers this year. And I think you're going to see a lot of people that say, you know what, I'll take the reroll. I'll take any of the top 5, top 6, top 7 receivers this year. Any first-round receiver almost, you could argue, taking over Bateman. He's probably not worth anywhere close to like a 23 first, but neither are any of the picks in the back half or the back 2/3 of this class anyway. He's probably not worth anything but maybe the last 2 or 3 picks in this class. I think you could justify trading for him if you really knew you were going to get stuck with a receiver and you didn't want to pick, especially if you're drafting, right after the NFL draft and you're really not sure what everyone's going to do yet. Maybe you're not going to feel so great about picking a, pick 32 Sam Howell or something like that. Like you don't really want to bet on like the early second or late first round quarterbacks, which it seems like, we may all be disappointed, but we may see like 4 of the 5 quarterbacks go outside the top 20, which wouldn't be great for Dynasty because then everyone's going to push up the receivers, which would probably push up somebody like Bateman's price. Once the first 4 or 5 receivers are off the board, you may not be able to even buy Bateman at that point. He's a wide receiver 3 in Dynasty, probably has a wide receiver 2 median or probably most likely range of outcomes. I don't think he ever cracks the top 12.
Shane, how about what are your thoughts on that? Let's go Bateman or the 109. Are you taking the flexibility of the pick?
109.
Yeah.
Super fast. Look, I loved Bateman coming out last year, but yeah, he didn't do enough, right? You're looking at his profile coming into the league. You're like, all right, this is a guy that has top 15 potential, but he didn't shoot out of the chute. He didn't shoot out of the chute. He had a couple good games actually towards the end of the year, but he threw those in with games where he had like 1.5 points and 4.2 points and that old donut 0-point game. Just didn't see he didn't command the target share we want to see.
It sounds like he's a replacement level receiver, right? So he might be a nice piece, but he's never going to be an elite asset. Would you take Bateman and the 104 or AJ Brown?
Oh, AJ Brown.
That's tough. I think I go Bateman in the 104. I think I can get the wide receiver 1 in this class, which it's not 50-50, but it's not less than probably 70-30. He can be as good as AJ Brown. So.
Would you rather have Bateman or David Montgomery?
I'll take David Montgomery.
Can I cheat and say it depends on my roster construction? Because inherently I'm going to say running back. But that's because I probably have a lot of teams where it's like, okay, I need another running back going into the season. This is going to happen with a lot of my teams when we get to like July. I'm going to look at them and I go, my only good running back is Kareem Hunt. I want to go buy a running back. I don't want to give up a first. So the receivers in the Bateman range, the Amon-Ra St. Brown range is like, sure, here, that's what I want to pay. So if you can do it now and you're fine with Montgomery, then go for it.
Who'd you rather have straight up, Mooney or Bateman?
Bateman.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about Mooney today in one of our chats, and I described him as a wide receiver 4 masquerading as a wide receiver 2. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Bateman.
The Amon-Ra St. Brown or Bateman and the 204?
Bateman in the pick. I don't think there's a difference between the two.
Well, I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown because
he's got the street value.
Yeah. I think I could get it first.
Does he though?
He does.
I've noticed. I've had a couple shares I've marketed, and it's let's see what happens in the draft when they take more guys.
Hit me up.
I mean, what do you do with like Bateman versus Keenan Allen? Forget about your team. I don't want to hear if you're a contender or not contender. This is what
it's okay for you to have caveats, but not me. I'm taking Keenan Allen because I know he's 36 years old, but I know next year he's going to be a top 15 wide receiver. I don't know if Bateman will ever be a top 15 wide receiver.
So do you think if you spam your Keenan Allens for Rashod Batemans across leagues, how many of those you think get accepted?
My Keenan Allen for Rashod Batemans?
Yep.
It's a good question. I don't know, and I'm not going to try because I don't want to make that deal.
Okay.
There would have to be certain types of league mates because if they're rebuilders, that's flat out smash decline. They just don't want to deal with the conversation.
You answered it exactly what I was thinking was if the team is all in, they don't have any picks, they're probably not going to trade Keenan Allen for Bateman. But I think that just signifies what the market is saying about the Bateman range of receivers. Like, we're not really confident they're ever going to be quote unquote difference makers in any regard, right? Like, they're going to give me, maybe some top 24 seasons. Maybe they're going to be Sterling Shepard and just be like 4 straight wide receiver 30 seasons. And you're like, okay, this guy's cool to have on my team. But within 3 or 4 more years, he's just going to be another guy. Because here's what I think is going to happen. Let's say Bateman goes out and has 75 catch year and he has 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. Okay, let's say he has a wide receiver 2 season. That probably puts you right on the fringe of wide receiver 2. You'll be able to buy back in next year, especially with the 23 class. You'll be able to buy in. It'll cost you more than it would right now. You're going to kick yourself and go, man, I wish I had a couple shares of him at this year's price. But it's not going to be so expensive next year that you're not going to be able to get him. You might pay like an extra 20% next year. So yeah, I think that's an overall lesson. If you're stuck with these receivers that everyone values a little bit because of their profile and because of their rookie year hype, you can do worse than getting out and then buying back in, because it's not going to be super cost prohibitive to buy back in. Unless you think Bateman has a 85, 1,410 touchdown year in him, which I don't think so. I think he's probably, if you get a wide receiver 2 year, you're fortunate. Bateman or Juju?
Ooh, that'll wake you up, Shane.
Juju, because I think I can trade him for more.
Bateman or Sutton?
I'll take Bateman over both of those guys.
Yeah, I'll take Bateman because I clearly dislike Sutton.
Okay.
All right, if you made it this far, thanks for joining. Check out the channel, browse the playlist, hit that subscribe button if we earned your business, and let us know in the comments if you want us to cover a certain player, certain topic. We're always welcoming and open to suggestions. So we will see you soon.